Ever since the overturning of Roe versus Wade, the pro-life movement is trying to get its first victory at the ballot box. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back again with a new video. Today, it is time that we talk about the 2023 Ohio abortion referendum. Because everyone, next Tuesday, we are going to see if the pro-life movement, after about a year of complete embarrassments at the ballot box, can they finally turn it around after embarrassment after embarrassment after disasters in, say, Kentucky, in Kansas, Montana, etc. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $1 a month, you can join Real American. This is the best way to support the daily content that we all know and love. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Alright, everybody. Now let me be clear. I'm probably not going to do an official prediction on a referendum because, frankly, referendums, they could get wacky, weird stuff could happen, you know. You don't really know. Abortion, especially on abortion referendums, I mean, the state of Kentucky swung like 30, 40 points. I mean, are you really going to say that's going to happen next year? You know, it's like, referendums are definitely out there, but there is at least some kind of hope, or at least, I guess you could say, a pathway for the pro-life movement to finally turn around the disasters they've had at the ballot box. And it starts in the state of Ohio. So let's get into it. So Ohio issue 1 is the big abortion referendum for probably the next year, because it is in a state that, you know, while it is more Republican now, 10 years ago it was a swing state. You know, it's a state that has shifted to the right, especially with Trump on the ticket. And, you know, it's a good, I would say, a good look at next year to see, okay, are Republicans finally starting to improve on the issue of abortion? Are they? Because they have, from everything I've seen at least, have finally got some kind of message on abortion, especially in Ohio. Because from everything I've seen, they're focusing more on the late-term stuff, which, why you didn't do that beforehand, I don't freaking know. But it seems like the issue of abortion is, like, becoming less and less apparent, you know, talked about, because frankly most people realized, wait a minute, nothing really changed when it came to abortion. All that changed was a state like Arkansas can ban abortion if they wanted to. Like, that's one of the only things that changed, you know, before and after Dobbs, when you really look at it. It's like, so that's why I think people are, you know, not talking about that much, but it still is a critical abortion referendum, because if this passes, not good. Because there's no reason for a state like Ohio to have an aggressive abortion law that allows abortion up to like 25 weeks at least. So it's like, hopefully the pro-life movement can win this next week. So let's get into it, see what's happening on the ground, and talk about, is there a possibility? What's the pathway? All of that. So let's get into it. When polls close on November 7th, Ohio will either become the latest state to enshrine abortion rights into its constitution, or enter a period of uncertainty as the state Supreme Court considers allowing a 6-week abortion ban to be enforced. So that's going to be the big thing, where it's like, if the pro-life movement wins, we're probably going to 6-week abortion ban in Ohio. That's why I'm saying we better frickin' win this one. I mean, this is Ohio, for crying out loud. an R+8 state, at least. I mean, if you had 5 brain cells, you can message abortion in a positive manner for the GOP, saying, look, we're against late-term stuff. The Democrats want abortion up to birth. They don't want restrictions. Because every time you talk about, okay, when do Democrats want restrictions? You ask them, they're like, oh, well, you see, we have to protect the right of the woman. It's like, so what about if it's 40 weeks? Should there be a ban then? Well, we have to protect women. It's like, hold on a minute here. You're not answering the question. It's like, why won't you answer? Because guess what? They do support late term. The fact that this should be a blowout for pro-life people, but the fact that the GOP, they got it better, they're still so far behind on the issue of abortion, it's unbelievable. But enough of that rant. You get the point that I'm just getting real sick at the fact that these deep red states, or like Ohio, kind of deep red, but say Kentucky, they can't even get an abortion, ban passed. It's like, what are you freaking doing? For Joel Sprain, a 33-year-old from Westchester, neither option seems ideal. Sprain says he's pro-life, but also thinks we have to have some legal abortion, with a cutoff somewhere in the first or second trimester. The state's 6-week ban went too far, he said, but so does Issue 1, a ballot initiative that would prevent the state from restricting abortion access before fetal viability, which doctors generally consider to be around 22 to 24 weeks of the pregnancy. And this is why the GOP sucks. Hammer the fact Democrats don't want a cutoff. Because this Joel Sprain, he's the average voter. I don't care what Democrats say on Twitter. The average person's like, I'm fine with abortion up to 15 to 20 weeks. After that, no bueno. Unless it's like some emergency. The fact this voter is conflicted because the GOP doesn't know how to message it, they've gotten better, but it's like, you're kidding, right? In a deep red state like Ohio? I think there needs to be a balance. Unfortunately, when it comes to the issue of abortion, you're either one extreme or the other. Sprain, who voted no on the abortion amendment, said after casting his ballot early at his local county board of elections, I don't really know what the solution is. That's the average voter. They're like, well, yeah, I want abortion restricted, but there should be some kind of compromise. Not, a 6-week ban, which I personally support, or no bans at all. It's unbelievable that there are so many voters like that. But the GOP, they just let Democrats, define who they are on abortion, instead of doing it the other way. Ohio's Issue 1 could drastically reshape reproductive rights in a state where Republican leaders have proposed legislation to completely ban abortion post-Roe. But it will also serve as a bellwether for 2024, suggesting what strategies and messages will resonate most with voters during a general election in which Democrats will make abortion a key issue, which that's failing. Because I believe, according to new polls, it's like the 7th most important issue now. It's not like last year where it was like the 3rd. People care more about the economy, immigration, what the hell's happening in the Middle East. Possible war in Taiwan. It's like people are caring less and less about abortion. The only voters that still care that much about it, they're the ones that were going to vote no matter what. And they're going to vote Democrat. After a string of defeats in last year's midterm elections, anti-abortion groups at a state and national level hope the Buckeye State will offer a new playbook as abortion advocates seek to introduce similar initiatives to undo strict bans in other red states. The fact that the GOP is allowing this, they're not even doing anything. They're just sitting there like, oh, I can't do anything. I'm just going to let it happen. I'm not going to do anything. And the pro-life groups, which again, they have gotten better. they're just allowing this to happen in deep red states. Why aren't you doing this in deep blue states? Try to do something. Abortion opponents argue that groups such as Planned Parenthood and the ACLU, which have been working together on the ballot strategy, were more prepared after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade last year and erased federal abortion protections. We felt it was imperative to get it together with the in-state pro-life leaders and the pro-life coalitions from all across Ohio and help build a model to fight back, said Stephen Billy, the VP of State Affairs at the Susan B. Anthony Pro-Life America, an anti-abortion advocacy group. When you work with a unified pro-life movement, alongside political leadership in the state, you have an opportunity to have an impact and defeat these amendments. I agree. The pro-choice group, the second it happened, they immediately started fundraising off it. Well, the pro-life group, they're just like, oh crap, we got nothing to fundraise on. We've been grifting on this for 30 years. Quick, do something. It should show you that the pro-life group, it makes you really wonder if these people wanted Roe v. Wade overturned, or they just wanted to grift off it. Because where was this last year? Where was this? Okay, quickly, we got Roe v. Wade overturned. Spend tens of millions of dollars in Michigan and Kansas and Montana. Quick, work with the GOPs to make sure voters vote a specific way. Where was that? And to give you a better perspective of why I think we've gotten better on this, this is Ohio issue 1 when it comes to fundraising. Support is pro-choice, oppose is pro-life. Okay. Support is winning by 12 million, right? By total contributions. And total expenditures, about 11 million. Seem bad on paper, right? Look at Michigan. 47 million for pro-choice, only 21 million for pro-life. A $26 million gap. Total expenditures, $25 million gap. Look at that. In just under a year, we went from getting killed on contributions and expenditures from like 25 million, let's just say that, to just under 11. And that includes the pro-life actually spending more. So I think we are starting to see the pro-life movement kind of get their act together. Like, not perfect, but it's like, I think they're fundraising and spending a lot more in a competent fashion than they were beforehand. I mean, for a referendum, reducing that gap is pretty important. It doesn't matter what state you're in. If you reduce that gap by half, like they did, who knows? All right, back to this. Last year, voters in Michigan, Vermont, and California voted to add protections to their state constitutions, while Kansas, Kentucky, and Montana voters rejected efforts to roll access back. Abortion advocates are working to get initiatives on the 2024 ballots in states including Arizona, Colorado, Nevada, Florida, South Dakota, and Nebraska. So you just keep looking at this, and it really makes you wonder if there is some kind of hope, or, I should say, like, optimism for the pro-life group. I mean, yeah, the pro-choice groups are spending a lot everywhere, but it seems like we're finally starting to turn a corner on this. It seems like the GOP, again, when I say the GOP, I should be talking about pro-life groups. It seems like they're finally understanding hammer Democrats on late-term abortion, like we're doing in Virginia, like we're doing across the nation now. If we win this referendum, which I don't know yet. I really don't know how this goes. If we somehow win this referendum, I really do think we have a model going forward. Focus on late-term abortion. Focus on the Democrats' extreme agenda when it comes to it. Don't talk about We want to ban abortion at 6 weeks. Ban it after the fact. That's what Democrats did in Michigan. They're like, we're just gonna, we're just not gonna touch abortion. We're just gonna enshrine the rights in Michigan. After they did that with like a 2-seat majority, they added some of the most extreme abortion practices in the country, in the state of Michigan. Just do what they do. And there's no excuse not to. It's Ohio, for crying out loud. It's an R+8 state. But anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much. Godspeed to all of you.